What's happening? It's Sir William, and today we're going to answer the question, what's in the box? Spoiler alert, everything I ever need in order to go camping at least for 3 days lives within this box. I've tried various different setups in my camping setup. The boxes like I have here, I've tried building a box in the back of the 4Runner with some custom shelves and different things like that. And I've gone back to the box system, and for a few different reasons. One, I like everything contained in one box, so that way I just pick it up and I'm ready to roll, or I can take it out of the vehicle whenever I don't need it. Two, I can transfer vehicles. Sometimes I take the 4Runner, sometimes I take the Tundra. Being able to transfer vehicles with just your one central box is a really nice luxury. Also, one of the biggest things is sometimes some of the best camping sites, you're not able to pull your truck down right next to. So being able to carry your box full of all of your camping gear down to the campsite is super beneficial. I've carried this around for about 5 years now, and these Plano boxes are fantastic. I don't want this video to be so much about the box as much as I do about the contents of the box and why I feel that it's the better system. That being said, I've run into a little bit of a problem with my trusty old Plano box. I've decided to upgrade my stove recently, and well, let me show you. My new stove is bigger than my camp box. So I was using an old trusty green Coleman stove that fit inside my camp box with everything that I needed, and everything was hunky-dory. Puppy dogs, rainbows, the whole 9 yards. But now we have an issue. So I've had to upgrade my box. Insert new box here. This is an SKB case. It's made in the USA. And again, I don't want this to turn into what type of box to get as much as I want to show you guys what I carry in the box. I've never been one to, fall in love with one of these really expensive boxes like this, just because, well, quite frankly, I'm a little bit of a cheapskate. But I figured I would take this opportunity to show you guys what's inside my box as I move from one box into this new SKB box. Now, I was able to pick this up for pretty cheap because it was used. It's got a few scratches on there, but it's great. It's waterproof, it's dustproof, and it's made in the USA. It's got wheels on it, it's got a handle on it. It's actually a really good box. But enough about the box. Let's talk about what goes in it. Now, like I said, this is pretty much my catch-all. Anything and everything that I need in order to go camping, I have in here. And I try to always make sure that I have at least 3 days worth of supply. That said, I carry 7 gallons worth of water with me. I do carry a little bit of dry food, in which you'll see here in just a minute, not much. And then I also carry my fridge that stays stocked up as well. The first thing that goes inside the box is the whole reason we had to upgrade the box. The new Camp Chef Mountaineer is a huge stove. It's a very high quality stove. It's a very well built stove, but it is a huge stove nonetheless. No matter what stove you have, put your stove inside your box. One thing I like cooking on is this kind of like cast iron deal here. It's a little bit too small for the new stove, so we're gonna put that to the side. I don't really use it a whole lot either. The one thing that I use the most though is my cast iron skillet. Now, this is equivalent to a cast iron. It's slightly lighter. It's called a wrought iron. It's by a company called Solid Technics. I've been using it for a little while and I like it. I'm still gonna continue to use it, so we'll go ahead and put that down in there. With the Camp Chef Mountaineer stove, I've also got all of my cooking utensils right here. Camp Chef makes this fantastic little pouch that has everything that you need in there, and I just really like it. It's all inclusive, plus the spatula is really nice. It's got a nice blade on it. My kitchen fingers, aka kitchen tongs, are really nice. Everything in this kit here is just perfect, and I'm a sucker for anything that has its own containment system, so this is definitely going to be inside my box. Look at that, fits perfect right in between the gap there. Next thing is this little spice kit. Again, I'm a real big fan of cooking. That's one of my favorite things to do when camping, so that's very important to me. I have all my spices right here, just the 6 major ones. Got some Montreal chicken, Montreal steak, salt and pepper mixed, taco seasoning. I put that on everything, like Frank's Red Hot, and same with garlic powder. I put that on everything. That too fits perfect right down in between those gaps. Another very important item is my coffee percolator. There's one thing that you can bet on consistently, and that is the fact that I'm gonna get up in the morning and I'm gonna make coffee. Whether or not I'm out on the trail or I'm at home, coffee is getting made every single day, so a percolator is important to me. Now, one thing I will say is that with this style percolator, you do get this glass top that screws into it, so you're gonna need to carry the spare top with you. I have had one of these break, And I did lose one of these, and I had to buy a whole new percolator. It's a mess. So make sure that you carry the spare top to your percolator if that's the route that you choose to go. We've run into a bit of a fitment issue, so we'll save that a little bit later. Cleanup is very important. Gunk wipes. These gunk wipes right here, I'm in love with. These are degreaser wipes. These keep you from using as many paper towels out on the trail, and they're fantastic. I've fell in love with these things. I've cleaned everything with them. I really, really enjoy them. So those have a special place inside the box. Plates, I actually picked these up. These are like individual pizza pan things, but they work great as plates out on the trail. They're not plastic. I don't really like plastic. I much prefer metal. They're easier to clean too that way. So these definitely are going with us. We'll kind of take up the gap back in the back here with those. I like to make sure everything's tight, because the last thing that I want is some kind of rattle out on the trail whenever I'm going down the road. Ultimately, this will be in the back of the 4Runner at some point. Most important to have is your first aid kit. No matter what, you're going to want some sort of first aid kit. I keep mine in the kitchen box or inside the vehicle. Ideally, you would have one for the vehicle, one inside your kitchen box, but at least have one first aid kit. This is a very minimal first aid kit. Has just about everything, all the necessities that you're going to need for, you know, small emergencies. Anything major, you might be out of luck with this, but you never know. You might could find something. So get you a first aid kit. Ziploc bags come in handy for all different types of purposes. I use them a lot whenever I have leftovers or whenever I'm cooking just parts of things. Like, for instance, if I buy a 6-pack of chicken, I'm not going to cook all 6 chickens that night. Then I can put the leftovers in here, put them down in my fridge, and we'll be good to go. Very important, Valentino hot sauce. If you don't know, you need to find out. You might have been told about Cholula, but let me tell you about Valentino. So Valentino hot sauce stays. Let me introduce you to Stanley. Stanley is an excellent little piece. Doubles as a pot. You can boil water in there. It's got these 2 little soup bowls or cups or whatever you want in there. This is a good piece to have, and you can do a lot with it. I cook macaroni in it, I cook rice in it, I cook soups in it, whatever you want. Stanley's about that life. Stanley stays. Now, the egg holder I carry inside here whenever it doesn't have eggs in it. Obviously, whenever it has eggs in it, this goes inside the fridge, but you do want to have an egg holder. I like to put some extra stuff, like an extra plastic bag in there to take up some of the slack, so that way whenever you put your eggs in there, they're not bouncing around. But these are really good to have. They're really cheap. I've lost plenty of eggs until I got that thing there, so definitely get you one. A hot glove. Hot gloves are beneficial for multiple different reasons. Obviously, to handle hot, pots and pans and different things like that. But let me tell you another use that I've found for this. I was coming down a mountain pass in Colorado when I heard squealing coming from the front end of the 4Runner. That squealing was actually the brake dust shield rubbing up against the brakes. It was extremely hot. I was able to put this on, get up underneath the truck, and then pull it away without burning myself and eliminate that problem. So multiple uses for a hot hand. Get you one of these. Very good to have. Light, I'm not going to go into the type of light, but always make sure that you have a light in your kitchen box. What I like to do is have one light for each box. I've got another box for bedding, which we'll go over in a future video, but for the main box, you'll definitely want at least one light. I have 2 lights in there, so that way you can change them around. So one light stays with the tent and the bedding box, one light stays in the kitchen box, and one light stays inside the truck. Heinz 57, because Christy likes Heinz 57. Sweet Baby Ray's, because the last time I went camping, I wanted some barbecue chicken and picked up some Sweet Baby Ray's. Hot handle. If you use a cast iron skillet, then you know that the handle gets really, really hot. This is a hot handle for the cast iron skillet. I'm going to keep that in there, but it works with the Solid Technic pan. But I'll tell you, the Solid Technic pan has a longer handle and you don't necessarily need it, so but we'll keep it just in case. Silverware. I only care about Christy and I eating. If you come and eat with us, make sure that you have your own silverware, because I'm only carrying 2 of each. Fork, spoon, and a knife. 2 of each. Put those down in there. A spare knife. There's a knife inside that Camp Chef kit there, but just in case you need another knife, this is a good knife. It's a cheap little knife I got from Walmart, but hey, does the trick. Knife sharpener. Knife ain't worth nothing if it's not sharp, and it's more dangerous if it's not sharp, so you always want to have some sort of a knife sharpener with you. It's a cool little tool to have. Speaking of sharpeners, this is a stone for sharpening like an axe. I carry an axe inside the 4Runner, but anyway, yeah, you could also sharpen the knife with this if you know what you're doing, but it's mainly for like your axe or machete. Keep that inside your kitchen box because, well, it's a good place for it. Fire sticks. Fire sticks are good to start fires with. That's exactly what they are. They're fire sticks. So if you want some help starting a fire, you get some of these fire sticks. We'll put those down next to the first aid kit. Bug guard. This is actually by a company called Avon, similar to a Mary Kay. Dudes, I know it's a makeup company, but let me tell you something. This bug guard is like Skin So Soft, whatever it's called, from Avon. This stuff works. No gnats, mosquitoes, none of that, and you don't smell like shit. This is good stuff. I don't know where you can get it. You'll have to find somebody that sells Avon. Perhaps your old lady knows. If not, maybe your mom or your grandma knows. That's how I found it originally, was mom and grandma knew it. But Skin So Soft by Avon, good stuff. Stays inside the kitchen box. Camp box. Can we just call it a camp box now? Another really cool tool. Remember those fire starters? Those help, but this helps tremendously. This screws onto those little 1-pound propane canisters. I'm sure you could screw it into a hose adapter if you were feeling gutsy, but 1-pound propane canisters, you screw onto there. Now you got fire. Fuego. Keep that in the kitchen box. The percolator does have its own filter packs, but I just find them to be more waste and they don't really help out tremendously, so I don't really use them, but I still have some extra. So if you're bougie and you don't like coffee grinds and you use a percolator, use those. This is my my dry food supply that I told you about, right? So this is Maple and Brown's sugar oatmeal, and well, hey, if all else fails, I could eat oatmeal for a couple days here. I got a couple days supply of oatmeal. We'll keep that in there. Last but not least, we got a little red rag. I've actually got more room for more stuff. What am I gonna do? I gotta fill this thing up now. I'm sure I'll find some more stuff to throw inside my camp box. Hopefully this helped you guys maybe think of a few things to put inside your camp box. Ultimately, it's all about how easy you can get up, get out, and go explore, and how fast you can set up. The less things you have, the less stress you have. The less stress you have, the more fun you have. The more fun you have, the more you'll want to do it. You get where I'm going with it, right? The more you want to do it, the more you will do it, the more you'll explore. In the meantime, it doesn't matter what kind of box you have, whether or not you have one of these simple Plano boxes or one of these really cool SKB cases or Plano style cases or whatever else. Just make sure that you have all your things with you when you're ready to go. One more thing I almost forgot. All the links for everything that you saw in this video are down below in the description. By clicking those links, I do get paid a small commission that is not charged to you, so it really helps out the channel. I'd really appreciate it if you want some of the things that you saw in this video to go down there, click those links, and buy it from those links. Buy some other stuff too, because that also helps me out. Until next time, peace.